Delonte Joyce, Brewster, and Lelore we've seen, but some of these young guys are really putting on a show here in their home opener for the Bison faithful. Oh, and that's going to be short of the first down marker for the Bobcats. It'll bring up a 3rd and inches as Andres Herrero on the tackle. We'll mark that 4th and inches. It's the Bison will send the defense out on the field, and we'll hope we get the turnover. Wait, wrong sport?
Wrong sport.
Earlier today. Sorry, guys. Sorry. My fault. Wow, there was a lot of movement there. He passed that ball right to the corner. Open shot for number 22. Jabari Komu, no luck, and the Bison take over 50-42 with 13:10 left to play. Jarrell Carter heavily guarding Christian.
Jeff just a shot block.
And he goes up, went for the shot block, was not there, and number 32 for the Bobcats, Baron Powell, comes through in the clutch, makes it 50-44 with 12:40 and some change. I think that the 40 was the change. Somewhere around there.
As he tried to,
good follow by Rudolph, still can't get it to go.
Khalid tried a little reverse left-hand finish again, didn't fall that time. And good shot quality, got to the rim and everything, but just didn't fall.
And Khalid now, if the Bison can get out, oh yes. And that'll be a first down Bison right there. That's a first down Bison if I've ever seen it. Khalid Jones tackled as he was about to make a break for the end zone.
Or the bucket.
Yeah, same thing.
That's neither here or there.
Same difference. Depends on where you're from.
Probably.
That's what I've heard.
At least that's what they told me.
That's the rumor. Out to Brewster. Brewster will give it back to Delonte Joyce. Harper sets a screen for Joyce. Oh, Joyce put Smoot on some skates. Didn't get the foul called. Gets his own rebound and will go. And Delonte Joyce is out here having some fun.
He made sure everyone heard that. Let him know it was and one.
He's fun to watch.
He was fired up after that. Oh yeah, real exciting player.
He is
real exciting.
He is fun to watch. Delonte Joyce will go to the line again. Score 52-44 with 12:12 left to play. And Joyce making that foul shot, making it 53-44.
Good hustle play.
Bison. What a play by Rudolph. And I hope we can get a replay on that. Rudolph pulled that ball through his legs to bank it off that kid's leg. Over there in the corner. What a play. What a play what is Rudolph, a sophomore now?
Yep.
The sophomore, Antonio Rudolph. It's going to be great to see him for the next 2 years.
Watch him develop. It's going to be a fun time watching players like Antonio Rudolph develop, Pedro Lelore, Khalid. His last name doesn't ring a bell, but watch him develop as well.
Khalid Jones, very explosive player.
One of the easier last names.
Hey, we're working. We're working. We got to get to know the rosters. Behind the back pass from 2 behind the back passes. And wow, Darian Brewster went up there for a block. He's not happy with that call at all. It looks like Coach Sachs will sub. Cannot see the number at the current moment. Can you see it? Jeff Joins will check back into the game, assumingly for Brewster. Brewster, that'll be his 2nd foul. Team's 3rd. First of the two foul shots go in, makes it 53-45 with 11:32 left to play. And the Bison faithful getting a little loud for this. It's nice to hear a student section. Both foul shots go down, 53-46.
They're getting real rowdy.
Alan Harper coming up the court, finds an open Cleek Jones. Floater won't go. This one comes out. Great hustle, but it's taken right off of, and there's Delonte waiting on it. Pushes, gets the quick stop, let his guy back into him. Oh my, and Brewster says no. Brewster goes to Kembe Mutombo. No.
This is a game that Freshburg State does not want to play with Bethany.
No, you do not want to get into a running match.
You don't want to get into this running game with Bethany because they will outrun them out the court.
And you see Delonte, this is that time of the game where Delonte Joyce makes his money. He's gonna go after every loose ball you can see. Even if the ball's in your hand, in his eyes, the ball is on the ground.
Every time.
90% of the time, it works every time. At least that's what I've been told.
Seems like a good life logic right there.
Hey, you know what I mean? Sometimes Rome's got to burn.
Oh man.
I'm not even sure what that statement meant. Heard it once, thought it felt good. That's a big shot. That felt good for number 12.
He had his hand out there like he knew it was going in from the beginning.
Carter, and a little slightly disrespectful in the game of basketball.
Slightly.
I don't know how the Bison will react to that, but I can imagine it's not going to be in a way that Frostburg enjoys.
I wouldn't imagine it would enjoy it either.
I mean, I don't know. We're waiting to see if our sideline reporter can talk a little bit about the defense. Talk about the defense of the Bison, but we will see what we can do. We will see the next time out.
Next time out.
Maybe, it's
probably.
We're just up here having a good time. Bobby's getting his stretch on as we get to the second half of the second half.
Any chance I get.
Muscle tightness.
Yeah.
A little dehydrated. We got the water up here.
You know what it is? It was a change of weather. It's
been a long day. We went from cold to warm.
It was cold outside. It's the warmth.
Very warm in the gym. Very warm in this gymnasium.
I'm not complaining just yet.
Not complaining.
Oh, no, I'm not complaining.
I would rather be in here all day than be in the cold weather that we were in today earlier.
I wish we could have called the football game from
it would have been nice.
Inside the rec.
Pedro Lalore to Delonte Joyce, heavily guarded by Smoot. Over to Lalore. Lalore will pop for three, won't go. Rebound.
Not really big on shooting. He's more of a.
Every once in a while.
I'll get my assist out first and then.
And a stoppage in play. I'm not sure what the stoppage was for there. They just whistle blew, maybe an inadvertent whistle.
Probably something wrong with the point of the play clocks or something.
I think I did see the official go like this, which means to reset the shot clock. So.
Here you go, that help defense again. Almost made him make an ill-advised pass and rethought it. Took his time to find someone open.
And that is definitely Smoot with the three-pointer. And what a shot for Nick Smoot.
Nick Smoot let Darian Bresser hear about all about that shot he made.
Oh yeah. He walked down the court and had a couple choice words for Darian. Darian said, "Hey, remember 2 shots ago I blocked you, so don't get cute."
But yeah, don't get fancy out here.
And cherry picking Smoot doing his job as the cherry picker. That's what he does. See, I don't like that.
That's a technical.
Oh, and he gets a technical. Smoot's going to get a technical for getting into the face of Delonte Joyce, and that's immaturity from an older person. Nick Smoot is a junior, and he's got to know better than that. He's got to know, and he's looking at his coach. The coach doesn't even, right now, coach doesn't even want to talk to him. He said, "You need to come sit down, son. Take a deep breath." He got mouthy with Brewster, and Brewster walked right away from him. And I did notice the official said something on the way down the court. But that you can't after making a layup.
It's maturity.
Yeah, you can't get in the guy's face.
It's a fast break layup.
Pedro missing the front end of the technical there.
It's a fast break layup. He's got to grow up at some point.
And that's what coach is saying to him right now. You got to grow up. Pedro hits the second.
He's more likely going to be one of the team leaders in the next year, if not by the end of this year.
That makes it 56-54, and Frostburg really came roaring back in when it looked like Bethany was about to put the foot on the gas and just run away with this one. Still a basketball game ahead of us here, folks. 9:34 left to play. It's a 2-point basketball game in favor of the Fighting Green. Well, right now the Fighting White in the Bisons. Bison.
Yeah, Bison's already, yeah.
Bisons is not a word. It's like deer. You can't have deers. It's deer.
Deer.
See, but I feel like for Santa Claus, you got reindeers. There's more than one. No, you got more than one. It's reindeers. It's rain before deer.
True.
I don't know. I'm not an expert on that stuff.
Yeah, that.
Listen, Whitney.
So Bobby's right?
Listen, Whitney. Don't
right.
Tell Bobby that, because now I got to deal with the ego up here, and it's not a very big area. Pedro Lalore for 3. Oh, in and out. Big rebound. Was ripped away, and they will go the other way. Big play by Pedro Lalore, get the rest of the defense to set up. For those of you that can't hear Whitney in my ear, she said that she thinks it's still reindeer. If you know the answer to that, I don't know where you should text, but you should text somebody and tell them that you learned that it's reindeer, not reindeers. You heard it here first on BBN.
So
I agreed that you were right. Get over it.
Okay, just making sure. Good hustle play by Pedro.
Way to go, Pedro Lalore. And that'll go to the Bison. And that's one of those calls that I think the official makes based on hustle. You know what I mean? Two guys running the baseline, they both hit it, but you got to go to the guy that made the hustle play there. Pedro was all over the ground for that loose ball.
Like I said earlier, that's going to be their key to win. You got to keep putting pressure on the ball, handler.
And it seems to be the offense starts with Delonte getting the ball at the high wing, and then they work it back to the middle and then get into their base offense. Haven't really showed what that base offense is. They run a couple
jumper, and that's where Bethany needs to excel at, them open mid-range jumpers.
Further, as the season goes further along, they're going to need to. That's a shot you're going to have to start knocking down.
Because you're not always going to get the easy layups, or you're not going to get open jumpers. Teams will almost let players shoot in mid-range jumpers
and Delonte Joyce is going to go, looked like he was going to go the length, got his pocket picked in the back. And
as much as we talk about Delonte as a scorer doing all this for his team, he turned the ball over quite a few times today.
He gets a little greedy at times.
Yeah, instead of making an extra pass, he rather finish it himself, and he'll get ripped easier.
But that also comes with the whole being the oldest guy on the team. And the linebacker from Frostburg State, number 31, Tyler Campbell got it called there for a pass interference as the ball was in the air, and he took Darian Brewster for a ride. I'm pretty sure that's a 15-yard penalty and automatic first down.
Okay.
Am I wrong? I mean, we play different sports.
I'm not the basketball official, so it's not my call to make.
Rudolph
I'm just up here calling the game.
Rudolph inbounds to Lalore. Lalore looks, finds.
Yeah,
you're going to get called for that every time.
Looked like he took that flight over from Spain back to U.S.
Now, it also looked like he had there was a little grabbing of the jersey going on there, but that's neither here nor there.
True.
And another big, they got another big man, number 10.
Yeah, they recruited a football team.
David Patrick, he's one of those two first-name people. He is a big boy.
Yeah, a lot of muscle there.
And, shout out to the Beards. They look very nice.
Yeah, I had
a three-pointer from number 24.
That gives them their first lead good at first half.
Sean Henson matching the biggest lead for the Bobcats here at 3, making the score 59-56 with 7 minutes and about 5 seconds left on the clock as it's moving. And they're going to call 31 again for the block. On the floor, though, it won't be shooting, but the Bison are in the bonus, so we will see Andres Herrero go to the line.
For the first time today?
I believe it is the first time that Andres has gone to the line. We'll look down here for free throws. Yes, this will be his first time to the charity stripe, so he is a perfect 0 for 0 right now.
I don't know if that's really perfect.
It's 0 for 0, isn't it? Perfect.
0%.
Perfect. Darian Brewster will check back into the game, and now the Bison have sent somebody back to watch for Cherry Pick and Smoot. I don't know if he's been put back into the game, but he's a cherry picker for sure.
No, he's still on the bench.
Oh, well, he's probably picking cherries over there, too. Herrero misses the front end of the 1-and-1, and the Bobcats will come out with a 3-point lead.
That's what Bethany needs to start taking opportunities on the free throws, because look at the stats right now. Frostburg State, 100% from the free throw line. Bethany, 87%. Both shoot real good, but like I said, Frostburg State hasn't missed from the free throw line.
David Patrick up top, being guarded closely by Pedro Lalore. And Lalore's going to get a steal. Oh, he's got to get around. That's a big body to get around. Pedro, not a big guy. Not a big guy.
No, not at all.
And that'll be a shot clock violation, which is the equivalent to a delay of game in football or a sack. I consider it a sack more than a delay of game. 35 seconds back on the clock. The Bison trailing by 3, 59-56 with 6 minutes left to play here in the game. A little bit of sentimental value for this team. They could be the team that gets Coach Sachs' 100th win and could continue this streak. The Bison have not lost a home opener in years. I actually
even
Whitney,
before Coach Sachs' time.
Whitney, can I get a check on that? I'm pretty sure they have not lost at home in Coach Sachs' time in a home opener.
Good ball movement.
And you gotta finish that. It's a great defensive play by Sean Henson. It looked like. Number 20, no, that was number 30, Jake Wiggin.
He looked like he had bounced like Andrew Wiggins.
And they'll work it in again. That's a 3-second. That is a 3-second if I've ever seen it. Henson to the lane. He'll shoot 2. That foul, I would assume, is going to go on Andres Herrero. 4-0 with the body. His first of the game, I believe, second of the game. Team's 4th. And Henson can make this a 2-possession ball game real quick. Makes the first one, making it 60-56. Favor of the Bobcats. Oh, man. Oh. A lot of standing.
Yeah, that seems to be the moral of this story today.
Calf muscles really cramping up.
That's not good.
Can we get Roger up here? Trainer. I need a trainer. I'm cramping. I need fluids. Timeout called by Frostburg, it looked like. With 5:30 left to play, it's 61-56, and it's been a minute since the Bison have scored. Actually, we're going to send it down to our sideline reporter, McKenna Junkin, for her take on the game. McKenna?
I'm McKenna Junkin, courtside again. Things are definitely heating up as the Bison are trailing the Bobcats 61-56. The Bison are having a hard time collecting rebounds on offense and also turning over the ball. Things are heating up as we have 5:30 left to go in the second half. Let's hope that the Bison can pull it out. Bobby and Carlo, back to you.
Thank you, McKenna. As she said, I can't say it any better. I really can't. She said it. She said everything that I wanted to say, so I have nothing to say until we come out of this timeout. Bob, what do you got?
Well,
it's time for me to be mosey on all out.
Time for me to preach. Defense not really doing nothing bad. It's just Frostburg State's offense is just doing much better. I mean, if that made sense, it sounded like it did, but
made sense to me. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I got you. I'm here with you, bro.
Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
We're on the same wavelength right now. Well, not really, because you're over there, I'm over here, but it's the same thing.
Yeah,
We're
pretty
right
much.
in a line.
Horizontal.
No, yeah, horizontals.
Depending on what you're saying, it might be vertical.
Could be. I'm vertically challenged compared to you, so let's not go vertical. Oh, the big man got caught up.
And that would have been a perfect chance for a pick and roll. Easy 2 points right there.
Rudolph picking his dribble up, and the Bison playing very, very sloppy at the moment. Andre's in there, and a big bucket. I expected to get a YN1 call that not going to go. 61-58.
And they're back to that trap defense.
And that trap press is going to really. I still feel like it's going to cause major problems for Frostburg come the tail end of this game.
Or it might be able to help them because Bethany might play themselves tired running that trap defense.
A lot more discussion going on in the newsroom as you approach these stories now. There is that balance of what can you dedicate to investigating a story and how long you can work on it before you really have to post and get it out there. And to this thing, you do have a trade-off now. You do have to post these articles that are probably not that important but are that popular. And you hope to use that to create the ability to do the other important and investigative and enterprise type reporting.
Kurt, how important is it to be first?
It's very, I guess I would rephrase that from a standpoint, I want urgency. I want people to think about getting the story as quickly as possible, but I want them to step back and get it right before get it first. I'll go back a couple years ago. None of you or most of the people in the room weren't born when David Kennedy was found dead in a what was it? It was in a hotel room in Palm Beach, Florida. I was working for UPI, and AP had put out a bulletin saying that he was dead. And New York was calling, yelling at me, and I was 9 minutes late. And I said to the guy on the other end, I'm not going to put out until I get an official who confirms that he died and how he died. AP's first report said he died in a swimming pool. Reuters put out a report that said he shot himself. And then we found out later that it was drug induced. However, I'd much rather be right than be last or a little bit late than have it wrong.
Don't you though own Toledo? I mean, who is going to break the news in Toledo?
A lot of television stations get it wrong all the time.
Yeah, but they're not going to. I mean, they're going to.
I understand that, but maybe maybe it's my Bethany College education. I still want credibility, and I just feel that way. There are times that where we put and there's no one that pushes harder to get the stories on our websites. But I go back to what Jim said. You're going to start small. You're going to start with one source, but as the story builds, you're going to add more sources to it. And I think that's what you need.
Sandy, Sandy, what are you seeing as far as Kiplinger is concerned in a digital age? What has changed about the way that you guys are doing business?
Well, Kiplinger's is a family-owned company, so we're not under the same kind of profit pressure. When you work for a family-owned company, you sit around wondering when somebody's going to die, which is kind of a morbid way to be. But we have published, we are the oldest personal finance magazine in the country. We do have a website that is free. And there is a big debate, and like so many other print organizations, it was put up as an afterthought. I think they originally thought that they'd put up the website to get people to buy more magazines. And of course, if you've given it away, why would they buy the magazine? So we're going through that same sort of tension that newspapers are going through. Do we charge for our website? What do we put on the website? That, do we keep stuff in the magazine that's not on the website? Right now, we have a pretty healthy number of subscribers. Unfortunately, they're pretty old, who like the print product. But I think going forward, there's going to be pressure to figure out how, as I said, we're just giving everything away. And we're giving away a lot of good stuff.
Let's shift gears a little bit and talk about ethics. And Jeffrey, I'll turn to you, ethics in journalism. Is it improving, not improving? How has it been changing now in the digital age?
It's hard to give a definitive response to that. I think one of the things that's happening is we're seeing more instances of people being taken to task because we have the ability. One of the good things about technology, as Jim said and as Kurt said, we can start with the source and then build on the piece. We can correct it. We can make it right. But others can sort of find where we make mistakes and they can correct us, and we can do that as well. Also. I'm not convinced, although I'm probably in a minority, that there were more instances of plagiarism. Every day, pretty much, I put out tweets with the hashtag plagiarism because I get a feed with all these instances, whether it's a politician or a journalist, or there was a case of a professor plagiarizing a student's paper last week. All of this is going on. I think the ability to find it through technology is greater. I think it's always gone on, and I think we kid ourselves if we think it's worse now than it's ever been. I think it's always been a problem. We're getting better at detecting. I think if we overreact to it, that's a problem, because then it gets shrill and we see everything as this great moral unraveling of the universe, and I'm not sure we're there yet.
Can I just add that I have to sign a code of ethics form every year, and it's the sort of the post-Stephen Glass case. I think a lot more corporate-owned newspapers impose, the legal offices impose this requirement, and so I think that at least there was a thought going on within our industry about getting more serious about such things. I think we've probably all had the experience of committees within the organization rewriting codes to catch up with the times.
I think I'd much rather you hire people like you than have a good code of ethics. I think a newspaper and a magazine and a broadcast station are only as good as the people who work for it and the values they bring to it. And you see those, and I think it's very possible for some people to sign a code of ethics and then
You're right. It's mostly about insulating the company from liability in
Right.
subsequent litigation,
Right.
but at least it creates a thought process to consider the possibilities where you always run into people on the staff who see nothing wrong with accepting gifts from sources.
Right,
or
so you
things
want a
like
sense of, never, is the policy never eat anything bigger than your head, or never eat anything, that can't be consumed in one sitting. Some of my friends consume an awful lot in one sitting, but I think, like Kurt, when you go to hire somebody, I would think trying to get a sense of that person's integrity, you can't ever figure it out exactly, but that's, in addition to the writing ability and everything else, you try to figure out, is this a person whose integrity is there? And that's tough to figure out, but you can talk to people who've worked side by side with that person.
I think there's sort of more, the plagiarism and the things that are clearly wrong aside, I think there is an interesting ethical conversation going on about how much to publish. In this era of no privacy where everybody puts everything online, where standards do you have? We're all old enough to remember when people didn't really write much about politicians' sex lives. And now it's like the first question you ask. But, and I struggle with this even more. I started out as a local newspaper. When you're reporting on people who are not public figures, how much information do you provide? What do you, what is the public's right to know when basically you could go on somebody's Facebook page and find out all kinds of things about them that they maybe didn't necessarily think might end up in the Toledo Blade or the Baltimore
I think you
Sun.
have more of an obligation to the non-public person than you do to the private person, because the public person has come to expect that I've entered the game and I'm exposing myself, whether or not that's fair or not.
Okay, but Ray Rice, his now wife, claims her privacy has been violated. She didn't really consider herself a public person, and she's certainly one now.
Yeah, but she's now a public official, so they're not going to have any problem.
Can I give you an example, Jeffrey, of this? What came in our life was we hired a guy to do op-eds. He's a very conservative, runs a blog in Maryland called Red State Maryland, and had worked as an operative on the Republican side. And we told him, well, this is what we expect. You want you to an independent voice. We're going to allow you some freedom to run a balance to our more liberal editorials, and laid out the whole thing to him. It was exposed on one of those websites, no, not Drudge, but the liberal one where it's America something. I forget what it's called, but it turned out that he had sent out a letter to his clients saying, if you hire me, I can get promotion on the Baltimore Sun for you. So he was selling space in his column. We fired him.
So that shows that you guys
Right,
behaved
but you can
ethically.
be. We only happen to find out because someone else called it to our attention.
Right.
But how do you you don't have a budget anymore to hire op-ed columnists. If you can find someone who can do it free, now you have